Everything Bass. How's everybody doing? This is Maurice from Los Angeles. This week we are talking about power trios and what is our favorite. And mine is unquestionably the band from the Bay Area called Primus. Love that band, love that bass player, and yeah, that made quite an impact on me when that floated into my life. I remember the very first time I saw them was on a MTV show called Headbangers Ball, and this must have been very early 90s. And yeah, Primus comes on there with this video they shot for a song called John the Fisherman, which is off their very first record, Frizzle Fry. And yeah, that had my attention the entire time. Wasn't sure what to make of it, but it definitely caught my ear and made me look into them a lot more. And I have been a die-hard fan ever since. Been to probably more than 20 Primus concerts, well, close to 20 Primus concerts, and a lot of also Les Claypool band shows as well, and never a disappointment. Always a great evening, always a great musical adventure. So yeah, that is a great band. I know it is an acquired taste, but if you haven't listened to them in a while, pull it up. It's always fun. All right, my friends, until next week, take care. Bye.
Hi, Bass family. This week, the question was very interesting. Who is your favorite power trio of all time? Man, that is a loaded question because there's so many good ones. But I'd say for me, the best for me is like the later Hendrix ones. You know, like Midnight Lightning. I think like that Bob Babbitt played on some of those tracks. And Billy Cox, just incredible. Great stuff. God, who else? Well, you know, of course, you know, everyone's answer is going to be Rush, and they were great too. I mean, there's just so many. But those to me stand out. First of all, you know, late Hendrix, Midnight Lightning, that era. I thought that was just great. That really moved me. But yeah, there's loads more, and there's lots of great people out there. So anyway, that's my take, and hope you have a great day, and see you soon.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
Bass Family Chat. This is Roy Vogt coming to you from my home studio and music room in Nashville, Tennessee. And I have a huge clue for my favorite power trio of all time with this bass, which is the first bass I have. It's the first bass I ever had. Okay, so it's kind of an EBO clone. And there's one guy from the late 60s and early 70s who's really associated with that, and that's Jack Bruce, the bassist with Cream. So my big favorite, most influential power trio was Cream. I listened to a lot of that stuff. That was part of my musical DNA. I really, really focused in on that. Jack was such a virtuoso bass player. And I have to go ahead and mention a great player that we just lost this week, Tim Bogert. And Tim played in two great trios. He played in Cactus, and he also played in Beck, Bogert, and Appice. And if you have never heard Tim Bogert playing with Beck, Bogert, and Appice, you need to check that out. He was an amazing player, and so I have to give him a major shout out since he just left us. But Jack Bruce. All right, you guys have a good time. See you on the next one.
Hiya, folks. Well, despite my beard and the fact that I play bass, I still cannot give any other answer to my favorite power trio than ZZ Top. And there have been so very many phenomenal trios that have just made history with their music. But for the longevity and not just the years of their career, but also how fans around the world, regardless of age or gender or any other seeming dividing line, everyone loves ZZ Top, and they appeal to so many people. It's not been my privilege yet to meet any of the guys in person, but by the good God's grace, I still have the bucket list gig of playing for Billy, and meeting all of them, and everything. It's one of those 6 degrees of separation. I have 1 degree of separation to both Billy and Dusty, and so it's a huge passion and goal of mine to do that. But I'm sure there's going to be plenty other great trios that are mentioned, and honestly, the way that I play and my preferred style of bass playing, I want to be a part of a trio. Guitar, bass, and drums, piano, bass, and drums. It's so freeing, and there's so much space to stretch musically. So it's a great format for anyone who has, especially a natural taste and talent for improvising and experimenting. So ZZ Top is most definitely my answer for this week's question, and I look forward to what's coming next.
Well, it might surprise you who I feel, or who I believe my favorite power trio is, because you guys know how much I love Rush, but actually my favorite power trio of all time is Beck, Vogt, and Appice. From 1972, 74, this super group came together. I mean, Jeff Beck, Tim Vogt, Carmen Appice, and holy cow! I mean, this band. Like, I love all those artists, and I've heard them in many different groups, but I think there was a special chemical reaction that came together when Jeff, Tim, and Carmine played together. And that studio album, nuts. And it's easy to look at Tim Vogt and go, wow, what a great bassist, what an amazing player. The vocals, his vocal ability, my favorite rock singer probably of all time. So if you haven't checked out Beck, Vogt, and Appice, I would definitely do it. Now, I would like to say that unfortunately, at the time of shooting this video this past week, we lost Tim Vogt. But that in no way influences that this is my favorite power trio. Tim Vogt was one of the main reasons I went to Musicians Institute and studied, and then I was blessed enough to be on staff with him, and every time you sat with that man, you learned. And his main goal was to make everyone around him better. And you can hear that in this power trio. So check out Beck, Vogt, and Appice. Oh my goodness, what a great power trio.